Hi everyone. Well, I was and I wasn't going to do a video, and then I thought, man, I really need to be picking up this camera a little bit more. Hey Lily. But I saw Lily. Of course, it's not like she's only been at a door for a minute. She's been at a door for quite a while. But it's still morning and I'm still busy doing, you know, there are other animals in my home besides my snakes, being my birds, which take up a little bit of my time. Are you going to eat something? Hey, are you going to take a meal? Which I should always nab Lily when she's in the mood to stay in, rather than in the mood to come out. And even though Lily will eat when she is out, sometimes it's more likely that she will eat when she's in and in that mood to actually stay in there. So, you know, Lily is a very, very sweet girl. I guess that's the only way to describe Lily, as the snake that she is. And I would put her in the actual classification of being even beyond, in some ways, the average normal of sweet, trusting, and so forth. I always say so forth, but it extends past just the trust that she's developed. It's the bond that she's developed. And many people do not believe in bond, but I do believe that snakes very much get to know the individuals that care for them, do all those wonderful things with them. And those wonderful things are acknowledging what they are actually trying to tell me. And I may not always get it right, and I'll never claim to always know exactly what my snakes are thinking, but I do get a lot of what they're saying as well, and have gone with what my gut is telling me, because they can't talk, so they're very reliant on me to be able to do that for them. And I think that also plays an important part on the temperament that you're going to get ultimately from your snake. And I really could not and would not ever be able to understand anybody that wouldn't want a sweet, easygoing girl such as my Lily. And honestly, I don't really believe that there's actually anything that I could do to upset Lily to ever want to bite me. I just don't, not that I would want to do anything to her to frighten her or hurt her, but even so, she just does not have a nasty bone in her body. And when at night, you know, Lily's out all day, although it's a bit later in the day that my Lily is coming out today, but you know, normally she's out quite early in the morning and makes her way up to that hangout area right up there. And there are multiple logs, branches, crisscrossed and set up there so that she can lay herself on them. And they're also quite able to drop their bodies down in between the branches and grip when they don't want to come down. And lilies some of the times will grip those branches, but it's generally more for her own balance and security, because I'm the one that's actually physically telling her to come down. And yes, sometimes I only have to give her a little bit of a tap on her back to let her know that, you know, I'm wanting her to come down, and she will start moving for me. Other times I have to be a little bit more okay, and I lift and I maneuver and I move her forward and get her going. And you know, I end up a lot of the time with her sort of holding my arm, and I've got her wrap round and round herself and into my belly so that I can climb down, get down, hop on here, sit down and put her home. And she has just so much trust that nothing is going to happen to her in that whole process. And it's so hard to explain without actually showing you. And you know, this is when having a second cameraman around would be fabulous, for somebody else to hold the camera so I can actually physically show you things. And I guess I could set up a tripod and maneuver the camera, and I am just not that type of a person. I don't expect terrible quality videos as such, but I'm by no means any expert when it comes to picking up a camera. So, you know, in terms of the trust that one has, is, for me, you've got to really gain a lot of trust from your snake, so you're never in a position where you will ever feel like your snake would ever hurt you in any way. And I know that all snakes are different, and I keep hearing, but all snakes are different, and they're not all willing and able. But you know, Lily's a lot older now, aren't you, girl? Hey, you're over, coming up 7 years of age, are you not? And I've not been slack with her. You know, I've never been one to take a break and say, well, you know, all I'm doing is you're getting some fresh water. That's all you're going to get, is some nice fresh water. Make sure your enclosure's clean, but you're not coming out for the next couple of weeks. And just, if I ever did that to Lily, it would be devastating to her, and I know she would wonder, what did I do? She would certainly see it as some form of punishment to be left sitting in her enclosure. And I am not ever going to make her feel that particular way. And then comes the question, but snakes don't feel. Well, yes, they do. They absolutely do feel. And I have seen different emotions come from my snakes. Absolutely. And I know she wants to go up at this particular point, and I know where she absolutely wants to go. So I will just give her a helping hand, because she's not exactly in the right position. There you go. You're right. Can you get up now? Off you go. Righto. So Lily's actually coming out part is kind of done now, and she's just going to make her normal way up She gets a bit of a wobble up on the branch here, which is quite funny to watch actually. Not as agile as some of the little snakes can be climbing, but you know, she won't fall, or she hasn't got very far to fall, you could say, when she's climbing up here. But truly one of the sweet snakes, and certainly on a level that if I was actually doing shows and parties and things like that, Lily would be on the list as a big snake. I know she's not huge, but as one of my biggest snakes, that she would be very much a part of all of that, because of how sweet she is, because I know nothing phases her. She can be a little bit head shy initially, till she's sort of been out for a little while, and you'll watch her getting the wobbles up here and making her way up as she does. But there she goes, and well, she's not doing too bad. I've seen her wobble a whole lot more to where I think she is going to fall off. But boy, can they keep their balance, and she's doing a much better job than I could getting along that branch with no feet, as we say. So yes, a very, very, very sweet snake she is, and I would hope that everybody else strives to get exactly the same temperament as I have with my Lily, because it's the only way that I believe you will have that really good relationship with them, and that bond and that trust, and you will know them inside out and back to front. That's what it's all about. It's not just about their anatomy and what diseases and sicknesses and what their habitat is, and that's one part of it. But it's about getting to know them as who they are and working towards trust. Anyway, guys, I will say goodbye, and I'll chat with you all again real soon, as I do. So you all take care. There she goes, and just flips the tail. Flops the tail. Ciao.